what interesting example could you provide of Wikipedia affecting a government and also affecting a celebrity?
Oh gosh. I'll start with the second one. Many celebrities, particularly politicians, have gotten themselves in hot water by rather clumsily trying to whitewash history. We recommend against that because, in the UK we would say the Daily Mail will catch you. Somebody will catch you, and it's not a good look. So that's kind of interesting. Then, in terms of affecting government, there's a lot of ways. Obviously, everybody's affected by it because we all use it every day.
But could you give a specific example, a funny or interesting of a specific celebrity or a specific government that Wikipedia is affected?
I don't like to call out particular celebrities because it's often not a good look. So most of the funny stories reflect badly on someone. It's not really polite to go around and talk about it. But boy, there's some good ones.
Governments,
I'll tell you one story, but I won't say who it is. One celebrity got really angry with us because she said that the middle name we had was a slur in Spanish, which, as it turns out, was true. And she was just angry with us and sort of ranting about how Wikipedia is bad because anybody can edit. But I went and looked into it, and it's actually reference to People magazine in 1973 had that name, which was just interesting. So we fixed it, of course. Anyway, in terms of governments, for me, one of the interesting things is the impact that I think we are having in terms of access to information, access to knowledge, freedom of speech in various places around the world. I think we've generally had a very strong positive effect because very often governments who want to censor things, they always use the excuses of, it's terrorism or it's this or that. But if you're censoring Wikipedia, it's very dry, neutral, fact-based information. And so, when I meet with the minister in China who says, some information in Wikipedia is illegal in China, and we look at a specific entry and it's like, well, it's about Tiananmen Square and it's all factual. And it's not that you're against terrorist information, it's like you just don't want people to know what happened there. And that's kind of important. China is one of the trickiest countries for us, but
so how do you navigate with a country like China and the state officials?
Well,
because it's almost like you're on a fence. You have to thread a needle in the senses. You want to have access to 1 billion plus people and affect and them to use and empower Wikipedia and obtain from Wikipedia, but at the same time, you don't want them dictating the terms and changing what Wikipedia is.
So we've always just taken a very hard-line approach. We don't compromise. We don't work with governments to censor Wikipedia under any circumstances. So it's hard to go and negotiate once you've taken that position because the answer to anything they might ask is no. So it's slightly problematic. So in China, actually, what happened, so we were completely banned in China for about 3 years. And then at the time of the Beijing Olympics, just before the Olympics, we were suddenly unblocked. So they unblocked a lot of websites around the time. They knew millions of foreigners were coming. They had sort of an opening up of the internet. So they unblocked the BBC, for example. The New York Times was unblocked for a while. We were unblocked. So that was great. And it was actually great because I had scheduled a meeting to go and talk to them, and it was nice to be able to go in and say, I'm really happy that the access issues have been resolved. They get really twitchy if you say censorship because they insist there's no such thing as censorship. The access issues have been resolved, and they always have said yes, but, and then I say yes, but, sorry. And what they did for a very long time was they filtered certain pages from Wikipedia. We didn't cooperate with that. They actually offered that they would host Wikipedia and a university would hire people to monitor and manage it for us so that it would be compliant with Chinese law. And we just basically said, well, thank you for the offer, but fuck you. So that never happened. But then there's new development. So one of the things that we've done is we've gone to HTTPS, so we have secure connections globally now. And that means that a country like China can no longer filter certain pages. So when you're reading Wikipedia, it's just like when you're talking to your bank. Someone who's watching you can see that you're talking to your bank, but they can't see the actual information. So when people are reading Wikipedia in China, the government can no longer tell which pages they're reading, so they can't block particular pages. So at the moment, we are completely blocked in China. Chinese language is completely blocked. English language is degraded. We're not really sure exactly technically what's going on there. So, well, that's a problem, and it means that in the past when we would meet, there was a sort of a bit of a standoff, I would say, and a bit of a truce that they filtered certain pages. We couldn't stop them from doing that. But most of Wikipedia was available. They would like us to go back to being unencrypted, but that's just not possible for us. It's the future of the internet is encryption everywhere, and so we're not going to back down on that. And so now our negotiating position is quite hard, but it's also hard for them because they have a choice. They can either allow all of Wikipedia or none of Wikipedia. At the moment, they're allowing none of Wikipedia, but I'll be visiting them soon, and we'll see what happens.